Hello everyone, this is Anand Thakur from Informatica Global Customer Support Team. In this video, we will see how to apply EBF in Product 360. The agenda for this video includes introduction, prerequisites to be done before you start applying the EBF, applying EBF on different subcomponents of the product. This will be followed by a demo. EBF stands for Emergency Bug Fix, which are patches meant to fix identified issues. These packages will contain the Delta plugins which have been modified. We always recommend to read the release notes of the version which is going to be installed, and we also highly recommend to take backup of the systems before you start updating. These includes databases, file storage areas, configuration files, and binary distributables. The first step of applying the EBF will be to apply EBF on the database. For this purpose, the steps followed will be similar to the ones that we did during DB installations. Please keep the system user details handy before you start applying EBF on the database. The steps to be followed are creating the server.property file using the templates. Templates are provided out of the box for SQL as well as Oracle database. Once done, start the DB setup by double-clicking on the database.exe file. A wizard opens where you will be asked to select the server.property which we have created above, and then click on Proceed. Follow the steps which are mentioned in the wizard. Once done, you will be given a message where the DB setup is started and completed successfully. In case of any exceptions, the setup will be aborted and the cause will be shown in a console, and also it will be recorded in the out.logs. We can fix these errors and then again restart the database upgrade. The next step includes applying EBF on the core service. This can be done in two ways, either using the Control Center or Clustrix application, or manually without using Control Center or Clustrix. Firstly, we will see how to apply the EBF using Clustrix or Control Center. In order to apply the EBF using Control Center, firstly we will need to apply EBF on Control Center. So applying EBF on Control Center is same as doing the fresh installation for the same. So the steps to be followed will be to stop the Control Center service if it is already running, uninstalling the service by executing uninstall.cmd command, extracting the new Control Center package from the zip file which we have received in the EBF, making adjustment to the config files like the environment configuration files. We also recommend not to copy the old configuration files to the new folder. In this way, if there are any property changes which are done in the files, those will be overwritten and your EBF application will not be successful. Once we have adjusted all the configuration files, install the service by using install.cmd Windows command or install.sh Linux command. Once the installation completes, start the Control Center service again. Once the EBF application is completed on the Control Center, now the next step will be to apply the same on the core server as well. For this, log in into the Control Center that we have just installed and navigate to the installation tab. Using the upload functionality, upload the Delta package for the server that you have received along with the EBF. Do not rename or extract the contents of this zip folder. Point to note here is, once the Delta file is uploaded, it will overwrite all the existing configurations and files. By clicking on install, the update process starts and the server plugins will be updated. This completes the process of applying the EBF using the Clustrix or Control Center. Now we will be looking at how to apply the same without Control Center or how to apply the EBF manually. For this, a server delta zip file is provided along with the EBF. Extract the contents of this server delta zip file. It includes plugins which are provided as a fix in the EBF. Remove the existing plugins which are present in your server plugin folder. These plugins will have an older revision ID, and then replace them with the new plugins that you have received along with the EBF. In case you are using JDSN or other accelerators, that are provided out of the box, please go ahead and apply the EBF for those submodules as well. The next step will be to apply EBF on the desktop client. The process remains pretty similar to what we have done for manual application of EBF on the code server. Extract the client delta zip which is provided along with the EBF folder. Remove the existing plugins and features with the old revision ID and then replace them with the newer plugins and features that are part of this EBF. Now let us start with the demo. In this demo, we will be applying EBF3 on top of existing 10.5 installation. We have already downloaded the EBF and extracted the same. Inside the extracted file, you can find delta zips for the different subcomponents like server, DB setup client, Clustrix, as well as the desktop client. For the purposes of this demo, we have already installed the latest version of Clustrix that was made available along with this EBF. Now let's open the Clustrix window and log in. Now let's navigate to installation tab, and here you will see the upload functionality. Let's choose the server delta zip and upload this. The file has got uploaded. Now let's go ahead and install the same on the server. A pop-up comes up where it asks you to confirm if you are willing to overwrite the existing installation. Let's go ahead and click on OK. The installation has started. The installation of the EBF has completed successfully on the server. Now let's go ahead and start the services on that particular node. Let's check the logs. Now you can see the server has started successfully. This completes the application of EBF on core server using Control Center. Now as next step, let's look at how to apply the EBF manually, that is without using the Control Center. We have extracted the EBF folder, that is EBF3, which will be applied on top of 10.5. We have also extracted the server delta zip which was provided along with this EBF. If we go inside the server delta file, we will see there are a set of plugins which are provided as a fix along with this EBF. Let's copy all these plugins which are provided and navigate to the server plugin folder. Inside the server plugin folder, paste the EBF plugins. Now holding the control button, just go on selecting the plugins which are of older version. These older version plugins that we will be selecting now will have to be deleted. Once you have selected all the older version plugins, just hit on delete. Now we have replaced all the plugins for the server. Now let's go ahead and start the services. You can see the server has started successfully. Now let us apply the EBF on the desktop client. For this, we go inside the EBF folder and unzip the delta which we had received. If we go inside the unzipped folder, we will see there are a bunch of plugins which have been provided. Let's copy all these plugins and navigate to the client folder. Go inside plugins and just paste the new plugins that we have copied from the EBF. Now the process of applying EBF in the desktop client remains same as what we had followed for the manual application of EBF on the core server. So holding on the control button, just select the plugins which have the older revision ID. The main intention here will be to replace the plugins of older revision ID with the new plugins that are provided along with the EBF. Now, once you have selected all the plugins with the older revision ID, just hit on delete. This completes the application of EBF on the client. Now let us open the client and connect to our PIM. Now let's click on Help and About Informatica MDM. You can see the EBF is applied and we are able to connect to our PIM core server after applying the EBF. This brings us to the end of the demo. We would love to hear from you. You can leave your feedbacks and comments at supportvideos@informatica.com and also on our Twitter handle. Thank you.